Maya Angelou used to say that people are not going to remember what you say, but the way that you make them feel. And this is so important in public speaking and even more in your second language, because many times we feel, oh, because I'm speaking in a language that's not my mother tongue, I don't have all the words, so who am I to speak up? Who am I to participate and engage in this conference, to teach something in this language or to share my ideas? And we feel this insecurity and we kind of go very silent, our voices don't shine, we are losing opportunities. So what I want you to share today is that it's not about the words and the language. The language is an important aspect of the skill, but it's just one of the aspects. And it's even much more important the way you relate to yourself, the emotions you feel, and how you transmit them, how you share them with your audience. And a most important mindset is coming from that place of how can I help? What I want to share that comes from a genuine place, and being genuine, being yourself authentically in this new language, that's everything. But, sometimes one thing that I realized for myself as a public speaker in my second language, being Spanish native, is the importance of having voices that you look up to. Voces que admiras, voces que te gustan mucho. So, for example, for me, I create this kind of library of voices of public speakers that really help me see qualities that I want to embody. Because you need to meditate. It's about these emotions that I want to feel on myself and that I want to kind of express more and more. And I create this kind of library of voices. I imitate. I focus, for example, a lot on areas of my communication, like pronunciation is a huge area that I focus on. How am I pronouncing? I'm being clear with the way I'm pronouncing so that my audience is understanding what I'm going to say. And then what about the way I'm communicating? I'm being clear on the ideas that I'm sharing, or I'm going around the bush, for example, que me voy por las ramas, So it's about all these different aspects that are going to bring the best communicator skill on yourself. The best communication style for yourself is uniquely yours. So finding these voices or public speakers is going to help you see what resonates in you so you can find your own style. This is the key. It's your own style. It's your own way. There is only one communicator like you that are going to speak like you even more as a non-native speaker. So, important thing, starting to find in public speakers you like, you admire, you resonate. So today, I want to share with you one of my favorite ones, Kobe Bryant. So Kobe Bryant was a very famous NBA basketball player. I like to learn about athletes and their stories, their bios. I'm fascinated by them, the way they accomplished what they accomplished. In the case of Kobe Bryant, he embodies a lot of things that I like having as public speaker. He's very grounded. It's very still. He's very effective. It's a lot of charisma. Another thing that I really want you to see in this clip that I'm going to share with you is that he's not using fancy words. He's not using words that if you're an intermediate, you're going to totally understand what he's saying. Maybe the only challenging word in this clip is behavior, comportamiento, but all of the other words, I know that you know these words. This belief that I need all the knowledge in the language, it's not really the case. It's more about how you feel, and it's about relating to yourself. It's about start listening to your voice, record yourself in camera, how you're being perceived by your audience, how you want to be perceived. Choosing is key in this skill. You can choose how you want to be perceived, and you can choose this style of communication that is more authentic to you. And this is huge in communication in a second language. I hope that you like this little clip I'm going to share of Kobe Bryant as a public speaker.
Yeah. And for you, it was really powerful because you've talked about this before, where your father said to you, whether you score 0 or 60, I love you. Yeah. Tell me what that statement meant to you at that time, and how did it actually motivate you to continue scoring 60 rather than go, I'm all right at 0?
Well, it did more than that, right? So, the basketball stuff speaks for itself in terms of what that comment did for me, in terms of giving me stability and giving me confidence to say, okay, it's okay to fail because you're going to be loved no matter what. And that doesn't just mean basketball. That means anything in life. That means writing. That means being an entrepreneur. That means having the confidence to go for it. And I've seen too many parents do the exact opposite, and it terrifies children, and children become paralyzed by their own fear. because they don't have that security blanket of love and comfort.
Yeah, absolutely. How have you been able to, in your life, see past the cloud of emotion to actually execute on things? Because I think what we were speaking about earlier, this challenge that young people have today, everyone has today, of just so much information, so much cloud of emotion, so many feelings, so much childhood baggage that you're bringing. Like, how have you always cut through that and execute on that?
You know, what I try to do is just try to be still and understand that things come and go, emotions come and go. The important thing is to accept them all, to embrace them all. And then you can choose to do with them what you want versus being controlled by emotion. You know, a lot of times I've seen players, even myself, you know, when I was younger, being consumed by a particular fear. And to the point where you're saying, okay, nah, it's not good to feel fear. I shouldn't be nervous in this situation. Like, nah. And it does nothing but grow. Versus stepping back and saying, yeah, I am nervous about the situation. Yeah, I am fearful about the situation. Well, what am I afraid of? And then you kind of unpack it. And then it gives you the ability to look at it for really what it is, which is nothing more than your imagination running its course, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love that. Because what you're saying is that when you're dealing with something, it's almost like, how can I get to the root of it?
Yeah.
Because sometimes what we're dealing with, like you're saying, it's an imagination, an illusion. It's not really...
It's not really a thing,
yeah.
You know. Like you think about game-winning shots or game-winning free throws, and people go to the free throw line and they're nervous about it. Well, what are you really nervous about? If you unpack that, okay, you're nervous that you're going to miss the shot. All right, so you miss the shot, then what happens? People are going to be embarrassed. You're going to be embarrassed because thousands of people, millions of people see you miss the shot. All right, and then what? People are going to talk bad about you. Okay. Right. And so you're looking at it and go, are those things even important? You know what I mean? If that is my fear, like what is, you worried about letting your teammates down? Okay. Have you let them down before? Oh, I'm sure. In practice and things of that nature, right? They're still there.
Yeah.
You know? And so when you're able to unpack it, you kind of look at it for what it is, which is really nothing.
Yeah, I love that. Breaking it down. I think that's so important. I think everyone who's listening or watching right now, next time you're facing a fear, next time you're going against something, do that. Like literally unpack it. Don't just settle for your first answer, because the first answer is rarely the right one.
Yeah, don't hide from it. You know, you got to be able to look at it and, you know, and deal with it head on.
Yeah, I love that, man.